Righty, good afternoon everybody and welcome to our iGyro Friday afternoon training session. Today we're going to go through SEO or search engine optimization, but you also get a rare treat today because you'll see my face without a beard. We do Movember every year and this is the first day of Movember, raising awareness for men's health and depression. So in the coming weeks you'll start to see my hairy lip grow and take shape. All right, so back onto our SEO, I'd just like to give you a bit of a crash course on what SEO is all about and what you can do to improve the rankings on your website. All right, so the page I've got here in front of me is a Brisbane Integrity New Homes website here. But the concepts that we'll go through today work for every single website that's out there. The SEO is important for all websites, regardless of the type of business, type of industry. And it's all about ranking in Google. So when people type a search term into Google, you want your page to rank nice and high in that Google list. I regularly get asked questions about why your website isn't ranking at all for a particular keyword. And usually those questions arise after some sort of contact from an SEO expert from an offshore company. They'll come to you and say your page doesn't rank for particular search terms. And usually there might be something really obscure that you'd never want to rank for anyway, something that no one's searching for. And yeah, you'll pay them to rank for those keywords, which will be of no benefit to your business anyway, because no one's searching for them. So an example of that is Renovation Builder Brisbane. So I'm looking at that site here, and that particular search term, Renovation Builder Brisbane, this page doesn't rank for that at all. If we do a search on this page, just for the word builder, the word builder doesn't show at all except for in the footer all the way down here, just a builder's license number. So there's no way that this page would rank for that term, Renovation Builder Brisbane. All right, I'll just flick between a few screens to highlight what I'm talking about here. So I've just done a search here for renovation specialists, Carindale. So that's a term that has been attempted to be optimized for this particular page behind us here. So if we have a look here, there's some ads show up. And 1, 2, 3. The fourth page here is the INH page for Brisbane renovations. All right, so if we have a look at that page, we can see here that we've got a title at the top, which says Renovation Specialist Brisbane. We've got the term Renovation Specialist in the heading at the top here. And just do a quick search for Carindale. You can see that that word appears quite often within the body text here. So that's ranking quite well. So if anyone searches for Renovation Specialist Carindale, this site shows up. All right, likewise, we've got Renovation Specialist Karina. If we have a look down here, we also show it's about rank number 3. So it's ranking for the same page, and that's because we've got the word Karina in here. The Renovation Specialist in Brisbane, Carindale, Karina. And that's the title of the page. All right, so again, that's the title up here. So if I hover my mouse over the top part here, you can see the title pop up, Renovation Specialist in Brisbane, Carindale, Karina, and a lot of other areas there. All right, so we're just going to walk through a bit of a case study today. So this morning I've gone through and set up a bit of a page, spent a little bit of time setting up an ideal page that would work with your SEO efforts. And we're trying to target the keyword kitchen renovations Brisbane. So if you do a search for that now, that page won't show up. It's only brand new. But this Brisbane website, the INH site, won't show at all in the Google rankings. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to rank for that keyword so that it will start to show up on at least the first page of Google. So we did a search for that term, kitchen renovations Brisbane. We'll just have a look at the first 3 or 4 links here. So we'll open this one. So they've got the words here, kitchen renovations in Brisbane. Brisbane kitchen renovations. Got the word kitchen renovations in there quite a lot, and the word Brisbane. So this is the first page. And we'll just have a look at that keyword density here. So if I do a quick search for the word kitchen, it will highlight the word kitchen in this page. And you can see that's used quite a lot. Search the word renovations. So we've got quite a few renovations sprinkled throughout that page as well. And the word Brisbane also shows up quite often. So that's the reason why that's ranking #1 for that particular search term. So we maybe have a look at the next one as well. All right, so similar thing here. We'll do a search for kitchen, and this page is full of the word kitchen in there, full of the word renovations. So they've got two different approaches here. One's nicely, cleanly laid out. The other one's just a lot of content. So that's the idea behind this, is if we want to rank for the word Brisbane kitchen renovation, we need to come up with content that's better or better laid out, or a better use of SEO techniques than those first few pages in Google. So this is the page that I've come up with to rank for that keyword, kitchen renovations Brisbane. And we'll just run through what we've done here and what techniques we've used. So if we look at the top here in the title, we've used that key phrase, kitchen renovations Brisbane. And actually, probably worth pointing out here as well, what I've done here is I've tucked this new page just into a menu here. So instead of just laying out across the top, you'll end up with too many items when you create more and more pages. So you can add a page into a menu just to tuck it away a bit. So that will still rank quite well with Google. And I've added that page from the admin panel. So if I find it in here, kitchen renovations. All right, here's the meta title that we're looking at just a second ago. So if we type in the meta title, that's the title that shows up the top of this page. But the title is also the thing that shows in Google here. So that would be the title for this page, Renovation Specialist in Brisbane. All right, so we move down from the title. We'll see there's also the URL. So again, we've loaded keywords into the URL here. So the name of this site already has Brisbane in it, but we've got the keywords here, Kitchen Renovations Brisbane. And it's best practice to use a dash instead of spaces. So you should never use spaces in URLs, but a dash is the most appropriate thing to use. So Google works really well with that, and it will just ignore those dashes and make a keyword out of that, Kitchen Renovations Brisbane. So in our admin panel, that's the page name section here. So always replace all of your spaces with a dash. All right, the menu text here. So the menu is just in here. So kitchen renovations is what we want our menu item to be called. All right, the meta title we've already gone through. Now the meta description is something you can't see on the web page. It's a tag that's in the back end of the website. And where it's used for is in a Google search term. This little section here can possibly be the description. So Google will attempt to find its own description to put in this Google search list, but you can hint to Google what's important to you and what the page is about by using this meta description. So that meta description can be probably a couple of paragraphs just to describe your page. All right, so I guess it's worth noting too that if you put something there that entices someone to click on that link once they see it in Google, that's of benefit to you. All right, just quickly, this meta title here, I just want to note that if you keep that underneath 60 characters, that'll prevent it from being cut off. So you'll see here, this is a really long, excuse me, a really long title here, and the rest of the words get cut off. So make sure your most important text or keywords are at the start of that in the first 60 characters or so. All right, this parent page section here is just how we created the menu item. So our kitchen renovations page is tucked under this services menu. Alrighty, back on this page, we'll move down the list a bit more. So that was the URL that we went through there. All right, so here's the title of our page, Kitchen Renovations Brisbane. Again, we're using our keyword. Just by default as well, just because the name of our link here, Kitchen Renovations, that shows up here in this little breadcrumb just here. Kitchen Renovations is another word loaded for keywords. So here, this section here is an image, and it's very visually appealing, but it also gives us an opportunity to stuff some more keywords into this page. So on top of that, we just got some text here, Kitchen Renovations in Brisbane. But I'll just show you another quick SEO trick here. So we go to edit this image. We'll click on edit. So a couple of things here. This is where we set the text as an overlay on the large image. But in here, there's the image alt tag. So an alt tag is something, if a web page doesn't display an image for whatever reason, it will use this text instead. But it is also a good way for Google to pick up on your keywords. So again, that's something you don't generally see on a website, but the content's still there and Google still picks up on it. Benefit to this as well, if you describe that picture, like I've done here, white waterfall ends, kitchen renovation Brisbane, we've used our keyword in there, but we've also got some nice descriptive text. So if someone's searching Google Images and they're looking for a waterfall end kitchen, this image might show up and they might click through to your site as well. All right, as we move down the page, so again, we've used our keywords quite often. Kitchen renovations Brisbane, this is what we're trying to rank for. So I'll do a quick search on this page for the word kitchen, and you'll see how many times I've used that on this page. The word renovation. So it's important that everything reads well still. You don't want to just go through and put a bunch of keywords in there that don't make sense, because Google does have algorithms to try and work out if you are keyword stuffing. So you need it to be readable and you need it to be useful content. All right, so just here we've got this very first heading we've got is a H1 heading. And as we move down, we've got H2 headings after that. So it's best practice to have one H1 heading in your page, and that's the most important keyword for your page. So I shoot back and edit that page. So I highlight that text just there. You'll see that it's using this heading 1 drop down here. This is just regular paragraph text. And these headings are heading 2s. There are other levels of heading, but I generally just stick with heading 2 for the rest of the document. That serves a couple of purposes here, is that we've got a the most important heading here. It's got our most important keyword. These ones also highlight to Google that these are important terms to you as well. But it also makes your content a bit more readable to users as well. So when someone visits your site, they're probably not going to be real happy just to see a big block of text they have to read through. And most people probably skim through just to see if there's something worthwhile reading. So they might flick down here and might find they're interested in project managing. So they'll read that section. So it's about drawing the visitor down the page and staying on the page as long as you can. Useful again to break up with images. Everyone loves images, very appealing. They'll stay longer on the site as well. So if I have a look at that, we've used that same technique as we did earlier on the hero image. So I click on that image. Oops. All right, so this is the alternate text here. So I've put an alt tag on that image that says kitchen renovation Brisbane. Again, I probably should have described that a bit better. Save that, so that should save the alt tag there. Alrighty, I'll scroll down the page a bit more. So I've got a bit of a call to action at the bottom. Make sure you call this phone number or use our contact form. But we've also embedded a video in here. So this is useful for a few reasons. So an indicator for Google that a page is useful to people is that they stay on the page for a long time. So they call it a bounce if someone hits your website and quickly leave it in a few seconds and don't read much content. So if you can keep someone on your page for a longer amount of time, it's an indicator to Google that that's an important page and they can serve that up to more people later on. So if someone's sitting here watching a video, they're obviously spending a lot more time on your page. It also does have the effect of adding a few more keywords in there as well. All right, even these links over here, so these are feature ads, and they will link to other parts in your website. So again, that's an indicator to Google. If someone comes to this page, spends some time on it, clicks on a few other links on the website and visits other pages, it shows Google that they've served a nice important page to that person that they're interested in because they're continuing to read other pages. Alrighty, so another aspect of, I guess, usability as well as search engine friendliness as well is that your page should be responsive. So this website is designed in a way so that if you shrink the screen down just to mimic this being on a phone, you can see that everything reads quite nicely. Everything shrinks down and moves around just so it's still easily readable. So there's some old websites that don't do that very well and you have to pinch and zoom to try and read all the content. So a well-designed website will just do this for you automatically. All right, so the body text here, so I've probably got about 400 words in this page. So that's enough to get us going. I'd probably double that if you're really interested in this keyword, but that'd be definitely a good start to get going. So if you're doing blog posts, similar concepts apply. You'll still try and break up your text with these headings, make the content 300 or 400, maybe 500 words. And that's the best use of, or a good indicator to Google that you've got great content on there. All right, so the reason why I've made this a dedicated page is because I want this to be quite visible to people when they visit the page. So it's always available under this menu, whereas a blog or a news item will get buried in a length of time. All right, so that was a bit of a crash course on SEO and all the tools we've got to try and make that work for us. Now, this is a very large topic, so we might break this up. So we'll leave it there for today. And in the coming weeks, we might revisit this and actually go through how to build and make a page like this. So in the meantime, start thinking about the keywords that you're interested in. Start coming up with some great content and some images, and then we can work on putting some pages together. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. We'll catch you again next Friday.